going on, everybody? It's your boy M.I. Sizzle. Glad to have you here. Welcome to TKN House. It's your boy MIC, like I said. Today, I'm going to talk to you about my thoughts on the T8 CNT beta test, network testing. I got a chance to put my hands on it. Really enjoyed myself. I'm going to talk about a few things. uh, some of my thoughts on the direction of the game, as well as what I really thought about how the servers were, how the gameplay was, things I'm worried about, things that I really found to be pretty interesting. We're gonna get right into it. I'm gonna give you some gameplay to look at so you all can check that out while I give you my piece. And you can go ahead and check it out and see what you think about it. Hopefully, you can get you a few one of those passes. I don't know if that's going to be something that you didn't get a chance to jump on it with the PS5. You may have the upcoming weekend coming up where they will be letting you jump on with the Xbox and the PC. Somebody probably going to crack it. I don't even know, but we'll talk about all that. Let's get into it right now. You know what I'm saying? So, in my experience playing the game, it was pretty interesting. I really didn't have a lot of complaints. Um, I think King, if you all know me, I'm a King player. King was pretty good. No real drawbacks. He did get his forward forward one was taken away. Um, well, it wasn't taken away; it was altered. So on counter hit, now you get a counter hit leads to a ground knockdown, and you get a ground grab attempt, or you can do the elbow drop, and it sets up for pretty good Oki. I thought that was pretty good. His damage was pretty good. Um, Overall, I thought that he was pretty strong. At least until I played with other characters, then I realized like while he is strong, he is not above some of the other stuff that I was seeing, but no problem there. He's definitely going to be able to hold his own here. Some of the things that I did like about the game, uh, I like the way that the game still feels like Tekken. It's not very, very different to the point where you can't really, you can't really enjoy what's going on, uh, and trying to figure out way too much. It actually is kind of the same. Really, a lot of the times I picked up different characters, and the combos, while the animations were different, some of the same combos still worked. Obviously, you had other combos. I did like that they had like a sample uh, combo challenge. So you can look and see how to do all these various combos. So if you had a question on like what went together, you didn't have to like try to figure it out. There was a pseudo practice mode. It didn't really have a lot of options. If you're familiar with the online on Tekken 7, when you're matchmaking, you have a little pseudo practice mode there. It was similar to that. It looks like in the full version that it will be a full-on practice mode, kind of like what you can do in Street Fighter, um, while you're waiting, for matchmaking. I thought that was pretty interesting. Looked like it's going to be a good look. Frame data is included in the game. Um, at least there was an option for it. Could not choose it, like I said, because of the limited amount of availability that they had there in the beta test. These are things that I was just checking out as I was looking along the way. I also saw that there was a little bit of a. Um, it was interesting. I saw that there were some things that had altered about the ground game. If I get into really talking about, the mechanics of the game and what I've noticed that was different, um, the movement seems to be a little more sluggish. There was a lot of problems with backdash for a lot of folks. King especially has a very weakened backdash. I think Michael Murray and Harada talked about maybe doing something about that, getting the team on it, because so many people had issues with the backdashes. Um, it was, for me personally, I found that the movement was better, but somehow slower. Uh, Certain things didn't cover the same options, like sidestep duck didn't cover as many options as I remember it covering from Tekken 7. So I'm not exactly sure what was going on, because it seems as though in my mind that they want you to do like full sidesteps in order to avoid stuff. Because the sidestep is actually far better than it's anywhere in comparison to Tekken 7. Um, it's almost no comparison when it comes to Tekken 7. Uh, with that being said, it is interesting. I would like to think that they're going to do something to maybe work on that, or maybe it was because I couldn't really tell because of the frames of the moves. Maybe the frames of the moves changed, and therefore my ability to input buffer my motions movement was, it seemed to be a little bit more punishing to you for trying to do like option selects that are known to be in Tekken 7. It's kind of like if you want to get around something, though, you definitely could get around it doing a full sidewalk. You would find, you'll see in some of these videos that, like, really for the most part, I kind of sidewalked around everything. That was mostly what I did most of the time, was sidewalking. Um, Backdashing really wasn't even really an issue, because the linear movement might not have been so great, but the three-dimensional movement was superb. So I have no real complaints there as far as that portion of the movement, other than maybe getting used to what kind of feels sluggish. It kind of feels muddy a little bit, but nonetheless, it was still Tekken. If I had to say what I thought it was, it's not as much of a difference as maybe Street Fighter 5 going to Street Fighter 6, how those feel like completely different games. What I kind of feel like is, if you've ever played Tekken 5 and then they came out with Tekken 5 DR, it's kind of like that, but they just kind of added an extra mechanic in there. So it's not really super different. Like, you still feel like you're playing Tekken. But when you get what I think is going to make the most, going to be the most, I would say probably like the most change that would be available when the game comes out, is really going to be the intricate stuff. Like I said, the sidestepping, the chip damage. There was a lot of chip damage being done, and a lot of people are having a lot of issues with that. I know characters like Harong, they'll cut on their heat mode, and then they just get attacking, and you're blocking, but you're losing all of this health. It's recoverable, but only if you swing. And if you're swinging at the wrong time, you get hit, you lose some of the recoverable health. So it kind of makes, where they want it to be a very aggressive game, it definitely feels that need. It's definitely doing what it do when it comes to the aggression. It can be a little bit overwhelming sometimes. I know I was playing a few games with Jack, and I was doing back two, and it was giving frame advantage and chipping the person, and then I went in the heat. It took even more chip. It was kind of wild, really. In my estimation, they probably need to tone down some of the chip a little bit. I can see that mind game is really going to be something that's going to be new to Tekken. Another thing I noticed was grounded hits and like get ups. It seems like it takes longer for you to react while you're on the ground. Maybe that's just because I'm not used to the system yet, but it seems like your responses on the ground are a little bit more sluggish. Also, there are things that I think once you're trying to roll on the ground, if you get hit, it like flips your body and spins it in a kind of funky way. And so where you would normally try to get hit and you would try to roll and you'd get hit and you'd stay on the same, let's say if you're face up, head towards, you try to roll and get hit, you'll still be face up, head towards in Tekken 7 and previous Tekkens. In this Tekken, it's like it'll flip you around and you'll get up, face down, head towards. Um, Depending on the move, you might even be feet away, head away, feet towards. I mean, it might just flip you all the way around. So that's something that I think is going to be pretty intricate and integral to, the higher level gameplay when it comes to Tekken 8 when it comes out. Gonna have to do more investigation. This is just week 1 of the CNT. Fortunately, I got it on PlayStation, so I think I will be able to play it next week, along with the Xbox and the PC players. So I'll get my hands on it again, get to try a few more things. I'm really looking forward to it. Want to see exactly what they do have, and how it's going to really pan out for everybody. I think it's really going to be a pretty interesting set. I think it's going to be a pretty interesting set of events when these people get to jump on and get their hands on it. One of the other things that I really noticed was it seems like they wanted to step away from the combo so much. This kind of feels a little bit like older Tekken, where you have combos and things are rewarding, but everything isn't rewarding to the highest degree like that. Like the Magic Fours, leading to maybe some guaranteed hits, maybe some guaranteed damage, but you're not getting full-on life combos. The heat system, pretty interesting. Something I kind of learned. It seems like if you get hit with a heat burst, if you get hit by the heat burst, it leaves a certain amount of recoverable health. I think you can recover all the health from the heat burst, if I'm not mistaken. If you are able to attack your way back without losing, without getting hit in the process. So I think that's pretty interesting. As far as chip goes, I'm not sure. I do not think that you can be chipped out, but someone can chip you down to a pixel. And this is kind of where I think the interesting portion of the game comes into play, because you can really chip a person down to their last little bit of health and then only hit them one time, and they will lose the match. So blocking is not necessarily your friend in this game. A lot of people probably are saying, like, Mike, you're going to be screwed because you like to block. Well, I don't really have to block so much because, like I said before, the sidestepping, the dodging is very good. So you don't really have to worry about blocking as much. Also, when you go into heat, everything chips just about. If I'm not mistaken, almost all the moves chip. So you can easily go into the heat mode, just do like in a barrage of like quick attacks, keep them on the defensive. And what I saw when I was playing is kind of like use your movement when you think that they're going to try to attack back, instead of really counterplay. As far as like counter hits, you don't really have to worry about counter hitting as much, because in this game, just making somebody block is almost just as deadly, right? Whiff punishment is probably going to be pretty strong on this game if they don't really change the heat system or the chip system out, because people will be swinging, no doubt about it. Sidewalking going to be very, very useful. I'm sure the backdash will be useful as well, provided that they change up some of the spacing on some of the characters. But even though I play King and they say he's got the worst backdash, like, I really wasn't even worried about it. Like, I wasn't thinking about backdashing away from stuff. In fact, I was thinking more about running in and getting my damage. I was trying to put them on the defensive. I think that was pretty much like the plan that they had enacted, set up for this game. it definitely is going to pan out to work that way. I could see now that the aggression is going to be high. It's going to be a lot of people raging. Okay, a lot of people raging. A lot of people going to be complaining. I have no doubt in my mind I'm going to be one of the ones complaining. Don't worry about a thing. All right. Um, I really am really just pretty happy with what I got to play. Pretty happy. Thoroughly expect to enjoy myself once I get my hands on it again, get a deeper understanding. Y'all know I'm a lab monster, so whenever it does come out and I'm able to get in an actual practice room, I can imagine that it's going to be A1, 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 no doubt about it. Pardon me, but that yawn, your boy got a little tired, you know what I mean? But for the most part, I think it's going to be a really good game. I don't really have any complaints. The character roster, every character seems to be adequately built to play the game. Didn't really feel like anybody was too weak. Um, in fact, some people might have been kind of extra strong, but nonetheless, I thought it was pretty well balanced. They did take out a few traps. I noticed. Maybe I'll talk about that when I talk about King and my experience with him specifically. Um, Definitely a good game. I really don't have a lot else to say about it. Hopefully, you all get a chance to try it out if you hadn't already tried it out. And I'm going to go ahead and let you view a few little matches. And we're going to call this one today. Make sure that y'all like, subscribe, okay? Hit the notification bell if you haven't already. If you're here, you probably have. We got to get these subscribers up, man. I'm going to try to bring y'all more content. I've been slacking as of late, but got a lot of content coming out. Pretty soon, I'm going to be dropping some videos of King running wild on folks in Tekken 8. So y'all have that to look forward to. And check back right here. Make sure to do all that stuff, like, subscribe, do all that. And till next time, you know what it is. Realm of the real, only the real can chill. Peace.